All right, and we are live. Welcome, Highfalutin Ski Bum Podcast, episode number 226. It is your pals, Mario and Brian. Mario, what's up?
Not much. I'm going upside down here.
Upside down. That's one of
No,
those kind of days.
I'm right back up. It's just fucked up. I mean, there's nothing good on TV. The election's killing me. I'm up. I don't know why, but so I went out tonight to get a slice of pizza, just kind of hang out and do some stuff on the phone while I'm watching TV. And the election happened yesterday, and they're still counting votes today. And there was nobody in that place, which is usually packed. And I heard people saying, like, it's because of the election. I'm like, they said it was dead yesterday too. So who knew? People are staying in. It's like there's no football on, so I guess you're gonna watch just a lot of talk about votes because nothing's really changing today.
Well, and obviously too, because the media wanted to get you all scared about everyone's going to be better bolt up their businesses and put up boards because there's going to be rioting and shooting and looting.
Don't go out. Don't go outside.
Just you can't listen to these assholes on the CNNs and the Fox Newses. They just want to keep you scared. They want to keep you stupid.
Yep.
That's why you listen to podcasts like ours. Thank you so much for listening. We are here, skibumpodcast.com. Check out all of our previous episodes. Believe it or not, as I've been talking about for weeks, skibumpodcast.com/shop. It has been updated. We have new swag, t-shirts, sweatshirts. It's all up there now. I did it.
Everything's for sale now.
Everything's for sale. You know what? Holiday season is coming up, so we might want to get on top of that because a lot of our stuff is limited edition. Limited edition, people. Be dialing. So, just like
QVC, there's only 5 left. You have to buy 5 left.
Hurry up. So yeah, that stuff is on there. If you like us, if you want to help us out, we have a support up in the top of the site too. If you want to do a donation, we really appreciate that too. Also, go to your favorite podcasting apps, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, subscribe, rate us. That would really help. Social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Untapped, @Ski Bum Podcast. Please go subscribe, follow us, do what you got to do. If you guys need stickers, hit us up, skibumpodcast@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram. That's the 2 best ways to do it. And we'll get you some stickers and you can spread the love all across the snowy, wonderful world this winter and help us out. We'd really appreciate that. So thank you so much. If you're
real savvy and you're real crafty, go look up our stuff online, look up the About Us, send us a nice postcard. How about that? Postcard from wherever you are. It'll be like, wow, people are traveling again, and we got a postcard from one of our friends in whatever state you're in.
I don't think we actually have an address on our website.
I thought we did, right?
No, I don't think we do.
I don't know. So write a postcard, take a picture of it, and then DM us that on Instagram.
How's that? Even better. Save the postage. Don't waste money on postage.
You don't even have to write the postcard. We just want to see the nice picture that's on the postcard because these are cool pictures. How about that?
Go to the store. Take a picture of the postcard in the store.
That's right. You don't even have to buy it. Just take a picture and that's it.
No postage. No time wasted.
Boom.
There you go.
All digital.
That's the way to do it. No waste.
That's Ski Bum like.
That's very Ski Bum like. So with that, let's kick things off the way we always do. The good old app parade today.
You want to start off first today?
I would love to start off first.
Boom.
I've complained about it in the past. I think we both have complained about it in the past. The whole ridiculousness of pumpkin beers and fall beers.
There's no ridiculousness.
How early? No, I'm talking about how early they come out, and how when you actually want to have one, perhaps on Halloween, you just can't find anything because the big brewers have all made their beer in August, and it's like, well, we had it out there in August. You should have bought it then.
It was a nice hot summer day when we released it.
I did not want a goddamn pumpkin beer in August. I'm not an animal. It's absolutely insane. But this also goes as to why you should support local breweries, because they are not prone to the madness that is the mass distribution, Anheuser-Busch, Molson Coors ridiculousness, the schedule that they have where they have to brew all this stuff early on. There's a local brewery by me. I've had some beers from them before. Kane Brewing. I know, Mario, you're a fan. The Head High is a
The
it's a
Head
great
High is one of
go-to.
my favorite IPAs. That's a good one.
I'm going in a very different direction with the beers versus the IPAs. They do a beer called Morning Bell, which usually only comes out this time of year, fall, winter. I think it's a milk porter. They make a special one, and I saw this on Instagram on Saturday, and I went over there on Sunday, and I was like so happy that they still had it. So they did a pumpkin spice Morning Bell
Nice.
and it's brewed with a coffee from a local coffee shop called Rook down by us here. So this is all like a very local ingredients, local beer, local coffee. And here's the bottle. Here's what it looks like.
Nice.
Imperial Milk Porter. And this bad boy's coming in at 9.2%.
Boom.
Let me tell you, it's like a coffee milkshake with pumpkin spice, like with like a little bit of like the nutmeg and the spices in there.
Pumpkin latte.
No, with it's way less lame than that. I gotta tell you. Like it's like a thick milkshake.
Nice.
It's like a beer, a little bit of pumpkin milkshake. It is so goddamn good. So they've done a couple versions of this Morning Bell. We went for a tasting there. It was like Christmas a couple of years ago. They had like 3 or 4 different varietals of it. If you like stouts or like porters, it's dynamite. It's so freaking good. So
nice.
I bought 4 of these. I think they were like some ridiculous amount each.
Oh, were they?
$10 each or whatever.
Yeah,
because it's 500 milliliters for one of these.
They make good stuff, though. I gotta say,
these are out of this world, and I could drink it Halloween weekend. Halloween weekend, drinking pumpkin beers. I know it sounds crazy, but I did it, and thank you, Kane, for having these at the proper goddamn time.
Now, what would you do if you saw that in summer? Next summer,
I would knock it. I would break the bottle. Actually, you know what? These probably aged really well because don't porters age?
I think so. Yeah,
I think you can age them.
Just hold on to a few in the fridge forever.
Maybe I'll keep one. Dude, I still have
Next
all those.
Loco.
Dude, I still have all those Dogfish Head 120s.
Yeah,
I have like 4 or 5 of them from like at least 6 years ago now.
6 years. You could probably auction those off.
It's like a Dogfish Head like 190 now.
Yeah, you could auction off, man. Just auction it off.
I seriously have to stop hoarding. I was just at my parents' house, and I talked about my father passed away this summer, and we're getting rid of the stuff, his old crap. And I seriously want to just throw everything I have out because
Audible has a great book to get you jump started on that.
Is that about that like the Spark Joy lady?
No. This is from a Japanese man who it's called
we've
Goodbye
talked about
Things.
this before.
Right. John recommended it to me. I've read it. I read it and I read it again with Melanie, and she's like, yeah, you really want to get rid of all your clutter.
Dude, I've been hoarding beer.
Yeah.
I'm hoarding beer. I don't want to hoard anything. I don't want anything anymore. I don't want any stuff. I want to have a few pairs of skis, a laptop. That's really it. Like, what else do you need?
Well, one of the concepts is you start looking around your place, and if it doesn't truly bring you joy to have it, why do you freaking have it? Get rid of it. Sell it, give it away, throw it out, donate it.
I have a tax bill here. This is not Spark Joy.
See, why the hell do you have that around?
Throw it out.
Take a picture of it and shred that bad boy. I got a shredder I use all the time.
I need to get a shredder. I just rip things like a shredder would. 15 times.
No, I got the confetti one. It's fucking great. Nice. It's like NSA kind of shit.
Does it like the what is it called? Like the crosscut?
Yeah, it's like crosscut, but some of them do like almost like a 1/2 inch wide, right? So you get like a 1/2 inch wide piece of paper, and you could kind of patch it together if you're really patient. Mm-hmm. And then they have the crosscut that cuts it every once in a while. But I have one that cuts it into like little tiny confetti cubes. It's freaking awesome.
I always drop a deuce on it after I put it in the garbage. Like no one can put it together then. Like,
you'd be surprised. People are like artists in taking stuff out of Duke.
I put baby diapers full of yellow diarrhea all over those documents.
That's a good way to do it.
You know what? And you know what? If they steal my identity, then they've earned it. It's yours. It's yours.
Well played, Mr. Dirty Diaper Dumpster.
But you know what? Steal my identity. I've given everything away. I have nothing anymore. What do you want from me, bitches? You can't take nothing if I ain't got it.
Got a lot of goddamn diapers.
Barack Hussein. That's right.
That's right.
You can just like, who needs it? It's like shit is just, it's just stuff that's in the way. Like, it's
I do it all the time. I look at shit in the garage. I'm like, all right, that was my dad's a long time ago. And I think about like, how fucking long has that been around? Because he had it for like 20, 30 years. And then when he passed away, I got too old, I got it. And I'm like, that's been in the garage for like 10 years. Like, what the fuck? How old is this thing?
I'm looking at my dumb old baseball cards. Like nobody wants this crap.
Yeah.
You know, like they're old, shitty, like pictures of men. Like, who wants this? God, like it's just, why do we hang on to this dumb crap?
I don't know. There's a lot of dumb crap. It's stuff that you just think you need or you get for like the spur of the, the moment. And you're like, it's really not a temporary thing I got. You got something that's going to last a really long time. And I don't want it around a long time.
Yeah. Like, like collectible things. Like I know my parents, like they collected crap and now it's all worth nothing because again, all these companies were like, oh, this is a very like Beanie Babies and like figurines. They're like these dumb companies. Well, smart companies. They're like, well, people like them
selling as much as they can.
Bingo. They're not that limited. They just keep making more and they tell you how many there are.
Yeah. They're limited to the number they can sell.
Like all those, like they had these like booklets they had stamps in there. So like they would get this whole binder from the US Postage Service and it was a stamp and a gold version of that stamp and they did them for all the stamps of that year. And they had 1980, which was cool because that was the Lake Placid Games, Olympic Games. So I'm looking at like, this is actually really cool. There's a little gold thing. There's the stamp. There's the description. It's all in the binder, blah, blah, blah. It looks really nice. I looked them up. They're worth like $30 for the whole binder.
Yeah.
Like like you think you have something and it's just.
And that's $30 and you got to find somebody that's going to buy it. And they're going to be like, well, it's worth $30, but I'm going to give you 15 because I want to make money on it.
And they probably bought it for $30 in 1980 when $30 was $30, and now it's be worth like it would cost them $60 to buy it now.
Right. If you ever think your shit is valuable, just watch that Pawn Stars show, and it's everything that people bring in. They're like, "Oh, this was in my family for years," and they're like, "I think it's worth somebody says, oh, you could probably get that's probably worth $1,000." They're like, now I want $1,000 for it. It's like, okay. You want to sell it to me. I need to make money on it. So I'm going to give you half. Half.
How about nothing? How about no?
Yeah, how about you get the fuck out of my store?
Yeah.
Good day, sir. I said good day.
You got to be a real like sadistic person to own one of those shops.
It's creepy as hell. I'm like, you're just
always taking advantage of people. Like,
knowingly taking advantage.
Yeah.
They're like, come on in. I'll give you half of what your shit is worth because I'm going to sell it for profit.
Is that show in Vegas?
Yeah.
I remember the first pawn shop I went to was in Reno. When we were out there.
Yep.
I think it was before you guys got in. Me and Andrea went to we just walked around on the strip, whatever the hell they call it there in Reno.
The porn shop, right?
Yes, of course, the porn shop. We got the giant dildos, the big rubber fist, always a favorite.
Well, they got that big gigantic ball. It's in there. That's all full of like dildos and stuff, right?
It's like like the ball pit that kids have. They have a dildo. The dildome.
They press a button and they all come out.
Pretty much.
Like a spiked ball.
So we go to the pawn shop and I'd never been in one. And again, these TV shows make it seem so like
glamorous,
exciting and glamorous.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of degenerate gamblers.
It's like fucking meth heads just trying to sell anything to get it's horrible. It's creepy.
I forget what the video game system at the time was, but there was like 3 iterations older, like a pile of them, like for PlayStation 2 or 1 or whatever. Yeah. There's just all these old, and the worst is like kids' toys. You're like, this guy's like got like a roulette problem. Like he's just taking his kids' toys to the pawn shop to get a few bucks to play a couple hands of roulette. You're like,
my kid don't need this thing anymore. I got to play some slots.
That would actually be a great Pixar movie, like Toy Story, but like in the pawn shop. Like you hear the stories of the toys and everything is saying from the toys or the things in the pawn shop.
It's like the animal shelter for used stuff, right? Like,
Yeah.
they find the animals, they want you to adopt them. It's the same thing at the pawn shop. It's just, you find weird stuff though. A lot of people are like, oh, you should look at, like, if you want jewelry, go to a pawn shop. I'm like, yeah, it's probably been stolen, or it was an accident, or somebody needed money like in a pinch and they sold this precious thing that they liked. I'm like, that's bad juju on it. I don't really want that thing.
I had that idea too when I was, looking to get engaged. And that's actually part of the reason we went to that pawn shop. We were still just dating at the time. But the ideas in your head, like, oh, maybe down the road we'll get engaged. And you look at that stuff, and I got the exact same thing that you say, man. There's like bad energy coming off.
You
all
see like
that
a fucking
stuff.
engagement ring, you're like, was some girl that desperate, or did you break up, or did she die? Like, what happened to you get that ring into that store? Like,
Yeah,
there's a bad story behind it.
nothing positive. Nothing
Yeah.
positive to anything in the pawn shop. I
Yeah.
saw a bunch of power tools in there. Where
Oh, that
someone's
they
just
steal
like,
all the time.
yeah,
Yep.
like just dark stuff.
Just broke into a truck today. Here's some fucking power tools. Give me some money to go gamble.
And of course, whenever you go in a pawn shop now, you always think there's got to be a gimp in the basement because there just is.
Actually, no, I don't think that.
No, you don't? Oh, so it's just me.
Do you stop in often and ask the shop owner? Well, then again, there's a ton of pawn shops. I'm in Florida, so they're everywhere. It's just the warm weather, and there's so many transient people. People come down for 6 months. They're like, fuck it, I'm going to pawn this. I don't need it.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
It's a dark place, but it's one that needs to be experienced. I mean, you need to see what real life is about.
Just go walk into all the pawn shops and be like, do you have a GIMP? Do you have a GIMP? Excuse me. They don't have any basements here. That's why there's no GIMP.
It's like we're doing an addendum to the census. We're trying to see how many GIMPs are in pawn shops.
Yes, what's the count here? And does that include all the GIMPs?
I think for my son's 4th birthday, we're going to a pawn shop.
There you go.
Whatever you want, son. Pick one thing out.
You really want those Legos? I'm gonna get you those goddamn Legos, kid. Come on, we're going to the pawn shop.
It's just like tear stains on like all the Legos. This kid did not want to
be putting them together and like crying while he's doing it. Like, shut up and put your Lego together.
They're just tear stained already. Some kid didn't want to give it up, and dad's like, I gotta play some Baccarat tonight. This is all we got left.
No,
yanking it out from the kid's hands.
I got a great tip on a dog. Not even a fucking horse.
Oh, could you imagine the pawn shop by the dog track?
Oh, but think of how bad that is. Like, my life was ruined by gambling. Oh, really? Was it horse racing? Was it craps, roulette? No, dog racing. What? Like, that's just one step above rat racing.
Yeah,
some stupid thing like that.
I'm not sure they race rats, but hey, what do I know? That's dark.
It's dark shit, man.
Yeah. Speaking of dark, what do you got to drink there, Mario?
All right, I have a what is being billed as a blonde-colored wheat ale with bright coffee aroma and mild malt sweetness for a balanced taste and clean finish.
Well, that sounds delicious.
Sounds delicious. I'm gonna crack this open now.
Is that Coors Light?
No, it's not. But there is a connection. So I am having a Blue Moon iced coffee blonde.
Wow.
Now the connection on that is, what the hell is it? There it is.
Blue Moon iced coffee blonde.
Right. Now, this is owned by Coors Brewing Company.
Indeed.
So in essence, it's kind of like drinking a Coors.
Pretty much.
This will probably be just as good as the one that you had.
Blue Moon's really going after it, huh? Tastes great. Less filling.
I mean, it tastes pretty good. It's a little sweet for my taste, but it's still got a decent flavor. It's not really dark. It's definitely a blonde. It's on the lighter side. 5.4%. And they're saying 12 IBUs, so not really hoppy. It's really kind of sweet. And I could see, this is my thing with Blue Moon. Like, I could have one, but they're just very sweet, and they just kind of get to me after a while. So I could
Yeah.
see having one of these and then switching to a different beer altogether.
Mm.
But not bad. I got this in a sampler pack. Well, somebody gave me a sampler pack they came over to watch football, so they brought some beers. I was like, whatever. I'm not picky if you're bringing it over.
I never realized that they made a coffee beer, but I'm not really I'm way too much of a beer snob to buy Blue Moon.
It's limited availability, November 2019 through July 2020. So
wait, through July? It already happened?
Oh, so this is an old one.
It's an old.
It's been aged.
Some old goddamn beer.
It's been aged.
It's been aged to perfection.
So this is probably the July batch that gets stayed around for another.
Some guy just gave you some beer floating around in his fridge.
Well, no, they have all the sampler packs in the store. They probably just were sitting in the store for a long time. They're like, yeah, let's check them out.
It's like, what's on sale?
I'm sure if you check beer at a lot of places, especially around Thanksgiving and Christmas when there's a lot of parties going on, you'll see some old beer just sitting on those shelves waiting for people to pick them up.
Yeah. Hey, man, times are tough. People are out of work. Beer's on sale. They're going to buy it.
I should check the drink by date. Now, this isn't InBev. InBev has the drink by date.
Yeah.
Which is all ridiculous.
Well, I like the born on date.
Yeah, the born on date. Because I really want to know when it was born.
Yeah. Was it a C-section? Was it a breech birth? Did everything go well? How's the mother?
It was a breach. We tried capping the bottom, and it just didn't work.
Didn't work.
I wonder if they sell like a really cheap case of aborted bottles.
Perhaps they do.
Like little half fills and shit like that.
Oh, just half cans.
Horrible.
Very sad. Very sad.
Very sad. That's at the pawn shop.
Sounds like
right next to the pawn shop.
Like a. Why isn't there a liquor porn shop?
Wait,
liquor pawn shop
or
liquor
pawn?
Liquor pawn shop.
It's so close.
It is.
It's like salsa and seltzer. Seltzer.
This beer is not helping either with that.
It's not helping.
My pronunciation. All right. Well, with that, I think we ought to go into the very happy gondola right now.
Yes. So do you want to take... I'll let you take the second one first, and then I'll take the first one second.
Second one first. I love it. Marijuana legalization measures pass in 5 states.
Boom.
Yes, sir.
Everybody's all happy.
That guy's very happy. So in case those did not hear, New Jersey and Arizona both voted yes on measures to make recreational marijuana legal.
Damn.
Yes. So good old goddamn New Jersey.
Finally. So what was the promise? State. It's only, 3 years late?
100 days was the promise. Shows how filthy and corrupt New Jersey is, because they had to be like payola and greasing someone's palms and paying someone off and doing this for that to make it happen.
There's jack-offs and promises and dinners and steaks going on. It's crazy.
Yep. So also Montana. So they voted to legalize 2 initiatives, recreational and medical. I don't even understand how that works.
Well, they probably didn't have either. They just put them on the same ballot because most states do the medicinal and then they do recreational, but there's no reason you couldn't do both.
Yeah, they did both. They voted for 2 initiatives to legalize, regulate, and tax recreational marijuana for adults 21 and older, according to the Great Falls Tribune, as well as Mississippi and South Dakota, who got medical added now. I mean, that was a clean sweep for weed this election. That's big. That's huge. That's so awesome.
Well, some states are going to have to raise a lot of money after being shut down from COVID. So I'm just saying there's a lot of money in weed.
Didn't I say that back in like March or April? I said, if you were looking for a quote unquote silver bullet to get things back on track, to get businesses up and running, you legalize weed in your state. You're going to make a goddamn fortune. And now New Jersey,
manufacture nothing except weed. That's it.
Take all the areas between the highways, the divider areas, turn them into grow houses. You know,
You know how many more homeless people? Just me going out there, just grabbing that weed and running to the bushes. I got it, man.
You could do that, but or you could set it up as having just greenhouses there, right in the middle. Like we have all this wasted space in the dividers of highways. Put up a greenhouse, just grow it in there.
Let's grow it.
So many places to grow.
Rooftops.
We've talked about it a billion times. There's so many places to do this.
Nope.
It's nice that this passed. And again, I know some people hate the idea of weed, think it's a drug, think it's going to make you stupid and horrible, and you just want to troop out, and you're a loser. You obviously have not experienced it. It's just one of those things. I'm not saying you should do it every day. I'm not saying you should do it all the time, but just the freedom, just the idea that you, as a sovereign individual, can make the choice to do it. Like that's all that really matters. Because
walk around outside, going puff puff, just walking around. That's what I do. Going to the Publix, go to the supermarket. I'm like puff puff, whoop whoop whoop, just hanging out
like an adult. Because like why the fact that other adults can tell you what you can and can't put in your body, and you're not harming anyone else, like that's what drives me the most crazy. And as skiers and boarders, part of the fun of what we do is that it's one of the closest things to pure freedom we can do. You're at the top of the mountain and you're just dropping down, and depending on how you want to play it, you could just be going as fast as you possibly can. There's no speed limits. You're just going. And that sense of freedom, pure freedom, is so rare. And that's part of the reason why I'm so happy this passed, because again, it's all about freedom. It's about lack of control by some other adult, some other human being. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And I think the more sovereignty we all have as people, the happier our societies are going to be.
I'm going to already predict the delay in actually getting any weed from any place in Jersey for about 2 years. And again, this is what we talked about. So they put it on the ballot, the people spoke, and then they're going to take their sweet ass time putting it into action.
I did hear them say that the legislation they still have to put in, but that the guy who was the one who put the bill forward may have something done by tomorrow, by Thursday. It's probably going to come out Friday.
All right.
I'm hoping. They said
it disappears overnight.
Yeah, right. They said best case scenario could be a month. They could have some, because they have all the medical dispensaries available, so they would just open them up to everybody.
Yeah.
But again, it's
they
Jersey.
Still have to do the whole medical. It's like Colorado, medical versus recreational. There's separate sides because they have separate labeling and
there's priority differences too. Like they always prioritize the medical versus the recreational.
Yeah.
But yeah, it happened though. So, step in the right direction.
Start. They don't want to keep losing that tax revenue to Massachusetts.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
I'm
surprised New York didn't put something on there.
And the governor was too busy writing a book and covering up all the deaths that he was not responsible for, right?
Of course. The people just die.
Yeah.
Especially when they have something to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you thought drugs were going to be bad, Oregon.
Don't go to Oregon.
Oregon. Not only do they have riots and take over parts of their streets, but they became the first state to decriminalize hard drugs like heroin and cocaine. So possession of small amounts of drugs has been decriminalized. So they became the first state to decriminalize in this election heroin, cocaine, and meth. So that's pretty fucked up. 49% to 41%. And I think at the time this was reported, they were still counting votes. And who knows, they might be counting votes for another 2 months, the way everything else is going. That
wasn't even close. I mean, to completely decriminalize everything.
Yeah. So they're saying only small amounts of drugs are decriminalized, such as less than 1 gram of heroin or MDMA, which are two pretty freaking, pretty serious drugs. 2 grams of cocaine or methamphetamine. That's good if you can get your hands on some good coke. And 12 grams of psilocybin mushrooms.
Psilocybin.
Oh, psilocybin mushrooms.
Psilocybin mushrooms, yeah.
Oh, I think it's pronounced cyclamen.
No, it's psilocybin.
Psilocybin.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I was
those are
just
magic
listening to
mushrooms.
Joe Rogan talking about it with a couple guys on a podcast. So
Nice.
yeah.
40 doses of LSD. So I don't know how they count that.
Imagine you're
Um,
busted with 41 doses of LSD. They're like, sir, if you had just taken that dose before you went out tonight, we wouldn't have been able to arrest you.
I mean, this cop stops you.
No!
Cop stops you. Just take one. Like, I'm sorry. I just
It's like, oh, it's only 40.
gotcha. I
Or
ingested it.
you have like 60, you take a handful of them. like,
just chugging them down.
like, it's going to get really weird in like a half an hour.
Can you get me to the hospital really quick?
39 doses, bro. It's all I got left.
That's it, man. All right, so 40 doses of LSD, oxycodone, or methadone, which is all pretty interesting stuff. Well, if you have a prescription for oxycodone,
Yeah,
I mean this is without a
yeah.
prescription, so they're decriminalizing it. So
Mhm.
they're saying fines up to $100, which can be waived if the user is evaluated at addiction recovery centers, and they are using, I read in this, money from marijuana sale to fund this program.
Wow.
You
Yeah.
know, fund the addiction recovery and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So it's pretty interesting.
It's going to be interesting to see the way this all plays out because, the biggest experiment was in Portugal back in 2001, where they decriminalized all drugs, which actually led to a decrease in drug usage.
Because all the meth heads were dead after a year? Is that what happened?
Well, they said it actually really dropped the STD and overdose numbers in a really big way. And I was just looking for another article about it. And, they were talking about, I had no idea that Portugal actually had the highest HIV infection rate in the EU back in 2001 before they did this.
Damn.
They said heroin was so bad that estimated 1% of the population was hooked on heroin.
Huh.
Isn't
they
that
implemented
nuts?
a plan like this where they did a recovery rather than criminalizing?
It's a big part of it, yeah. I don't know all the details, but they say that like the numbers really dropped in terms of usage.
Was that over a few years or?
Yeah, since 2001.
Oh wow.
This article's from 2018.
I'm sure it was a tough road.
It's a crazy road at first, but they said, a lot of the money they've been putting towards is to pay for people like social workers, people to kind of monitor people and help them out, and taking away a lot of the stigma of, if you are addicted to something, take that away and have, therapy and people talk about it. And one of the things they talk about in this article, they're talking to one of the folks who used to be a heroin addict, now gets methadone to try to come off of it. He said that, what America and other countries can learn from Portugal is to treat people with more dignity, because Portugal has showed that without spending significant sums, governments can give drug users the tools to put their lives back on track.
I mean, I believe that. I saw a special one time and they were talking about how minors or even young people that were like over 18, where they overdosed on meth or heroin, they go to the hospital and they're charged with a felony. So now they have a felony on their record at such a young age. They're like, okay, they're addicted and they're young and they don't have skills. They don't have, experience. They might have skills, but they don't have experience, in the working world. So they go to try to get a job and it's like really impossible. It basically puts them into a kind of bad situation, for getting help and getting themselves out of maybe, bad circumstance they're in. So
Didn't they have that don't ask, don't tell thing where if you saw someone overdosing, I don't know if it's a national thing or a statewide thing, where if you say someone's ODing on meth or whatever, you could call up the hospital and they wouldn't question you or charge you with anything. They would just, help the person.
Right. Oh, maybe. But then the person that OD'd, I think, was the one that was getting charged.
Yeah, that's a little bit different, but
which is just messed up because now, okay, I get it. You can you say they broke the law, but it's like, well, it's just an uphill battle from that point on. You have a felony record, you know.
That's rough. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I think this is gonna be a positive too for Oregon. That's a bold move, because I know they did that in, is it just the city of Denver, or I don't think it's all of Colorado. I think it's just I thought it was just Denver, but it's happening in more places. And once they start decriminalizing, legalization is usually not too far away.
now
I
we'll
don't know
see how it goes.
if I want coke and meth legalized, but mushrooms perhaps. I think that might be, there's still so much more they can learn about them. So I think it's good.
Coke is nice. That's why everybody does all the other stuff, because you can't get good Coke.
Microdose.
Yeah. Microdose supplements. That'd be good.
There you go. All right. Well, we've been microdosing some snow recently in parts of the U.S. So let's roll into the ski news. Health officials are ramping up COVID-19 restrictions at Vermont ski resorts. Now, I hope to have more information on this in the next week or two, talking to some folks from Ski Vermont. But they just announced some updates. They did a podcast with NPR or VPR, actually, the Vermont Public Radio. And they're saying that officials are trying to do their best, obviously, to limit the risk of skiers spreading the coronavirus in lodges and lift lines. Rules will require ski areas to gather contact tracing information for every guest. And he said the state has directed ski areas to limit the number of staff from out of state. Additionally, ski areas will have to reduce capacity on lifts. So about 50% capacity, which is good. But if you're a family of four and you're skiing together, you can be on a quad together. But if you are a twosome or a single, you're not going to be riding that lift with anybody else, likely.
Man, free riding all day. But that's going to piss off if there's lines and you're sitting there in the singles line. They're going to be like, man, they're going to hate you.
We're not going to have a singles line anymore, which is crazy. And they're saying that the biggest challenge for ski areas will be overseeing the state's quarantine rules for skiers who come from places with high infection rates. They're saying for now it's based on the honor system, but that a ski area can yank a person's pass if they violate the rules, which I don't know how they're going to do that, how they're going to be able to tell if someone lied or was a super spreader or what until like way after the fact.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess they're going to have to ask you your phone information or something.
I don't know. Maybe, yeah.
I mean, weird.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah. So again, this is still evolving. We're still not there yet. We're going to be getting there soon. So I'm trying to stay cautiously optimistic for the season, but we'll see. Hopefully people are smart enough to, if they're sick or possibly high risk, that they are staying away and not going to get sick, infect others, and ruin the winter for everybody.
Yeah, no super spreading like some of the ski areas overseas.
Yeah. Looking at you, Jersey. Looking at you.
All right. Speaking of places in Europe that were super spreader. No, I'm joking. So the World Cup has just postponed ski races in Austria due to a lack of snow. So this is news coming out of Vienna. So they're saying lack of snow and mild temperatures have forced organizers to postpone the upcoming Alpine Skiing World Cup races in Lech Zwiers for almost 2 weeks. So the Austrian Ski Federation said on Wednesday that the parallel event for women had been rescheduled for November 26th, followed by the men's the next day. And it added that snow control by International Ski Federation was set for November 18th. So they're saying it's going to mess up the schedule, number one. And Michaela Schifrin is planning her comeback during some of those events to finish in Lapland. So Schifrin, who hasn't raced since January 26th, skipped October 17th season opener in Solden after hurting her back, and the men have no races scheduled ahead of the Leek Zwares event. So, I mean, this isn't even coronavirus and stuff's getting postponed,
20, goddamn 20.
I mean,
they wanted to pull out of North America. They wanted to keep everybody safe, put them all in Europe.
I know is Killington delivered year after year, right?
Year after year. Yeah.
I mean, that would have been the first event, would have been at Killington. Would have been
I
nice.
don't think it's not the first event, but it's that.
Wasn't the first for the women for the year? Wasn't the kickoff?
No, they always start off in October.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it was the first good event, just saying.
It's the first real event.
So, yeah, that's what's going on. So look out for some more of that. I mean, as a sign of either global change, climate change, global climate change, warming, not warming, shifting, whatever you want to call it. Something's going on.
Something's going on. Yeah. It's the whole year.
It's cyclical, right? I mean, weather is cyclical, but I don't know. Who knows?
This is particularly bad. There wasn't any information in this article talking about the last time that it's been this bad, or if there's been in the last few years any sort of delays or postponements that have been as long as this one.
Yeah.
It might be worth looking into. Yeah, it just doesn't feel like anything bad is just possible this year. Like you just like, oh well, goddamn 2020. Obviously, it's happening this year.
Well, we were talking last week about, how the Great Barrier Reef is disappearing and everybody's, global warming and all this stuff. And then they discover this gigantic reef, right? We talked about that last week. It's like, all right, so maybe it's not all the way we think it happens, I don't know.
Ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
Strikes and gutters.
Strikes and gutters.
What it is.
Or just shifting by a few miles a year.
Yeah. There's got to be somewhere where the snow's good enough where they could have been skiing.
Exactly. It might be over the ocean right now, but you got to wait till it shifts back on land.
La Nina. It's coming.
La Nina.
It's coming. Next up, the 14 most Instagrammable ski resorts in Europe.
And we've been to a few of these.
This is from the good folks at Euronews. There's some good, beautiful photos in this, actually.
Yeah, I got to look at this for planning trips for when we can travel again.
They're talking about winter holiday season is around the corner. You've definitely earned a mountain getaway. Talking about snow, relaxation, luxury, whatever you're into. Europe, most beautiful piece. Here we go. Number 1, Zakopane, Poland. Would not have expected this to be number 1.
I never heard of it, but it looks like a great Instagram. Unless it's all fake, it looks beautiful.
It's the first place in the top 10 most tagged ski resorts on Instagram.
Damn.
Sitting at the bottom of the rocky Tatra Mountains, the resort is steeped in history, but only started welcoming international tourists in the 1980s. Often referred to as the winter capital of Poland, this beautiful resort has been tagged a massive 1,439,744 times on Instagram. Take a sleigh ride through a forest or zoom down the ungroomed pistes of Kaspero Wieś if you fancy yourself a bit of a daredevil. And as Mario, you can appreciate, its stunning slopes are lit up at night, so you can get the perfect snap late into the evening.
Night skiing.
Day and night. Number 2, Zermatt, Switzerland.
Yay, we've been there.
One of our personal favorites.
That was our first European trip ever.
That was our first European trip, yes. That was a truly eye-opening, breathtaking, wonderful experience. According to this article, it has been tagged 875,527 times. Now, mind you, we have tagged it a few times as well. Not sure if that counts as part of their account, but
we've added into that.
God bless them. Number 3, Courchevel, France. And you've been there, right?
Been there. Well, I've skied through there. That's part of the Three Valleys.
Right. It's been snapped
back this year, might I say? Well, next year, technically.
It's been tagged 400,853 times on Instagram. It is the birthplace of ski in, ski out.
Ooh, look at
Did
that.
you know that? Look at that.
Well, I think I'm going to be doing ski and ski out, but
There you go. Number 4, Zugspitze, Germany.
I've heard
Glaciers
of
and
Zugspitze.
train rides. Yeah, it's got a famous train. That's sort of what it's known for.
Zugspitze. I don't know why I remember that, but
yeah, float above the clouds on Germany's highest mountain and feel the thrill of skiing on glacial snow. An altitude of 2,000 to 2,700 meters, Zugspitze is open to skiers from mid-November until the 1st of May. All right, it's got 396,819 tags. Next, Verbier, Switzerland, the ski mecca. Known as one of the most luxurious and expensive resorts in Europe. After a ski boom in the 60s, resort got itself the nickname Ski Mecca and welcomes about 40,000 tourists a year. It's got also art galleries and museums, if you're into that kind of stuff.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah. It's got 364,471 tags. Next, Val d'Isère. Ooh la la.
Ooh la la.
Scenic French resort. High altitude, glacial zone, super steeps, alpine village. Also, famous bakeries. The Chevalot bakeries have been there since the 50s.
Nice.
If you ever watched Warren Miller's Line of Descent, that is in that film. One of my personal favorites. It's got the three ladies, Amy Engelbretson, McKenna Peterson, and Lexi DuPont. They're hanging out there and they're just living it up, and they're ripping it up and living it up. And it's so funny now, like watching it. You're watching these après ski scenes and everyone's hanging out and dancing. And with the current state of the world, you're like, oh my God, that seems so foreign and weird. But no,
may never be able to do that again at this rate.
Yes, we will. Don't you say that. Don't you say that. All right, number 7, Val Gardenia, Italy. Best of the Dolomites. 306,000 tags. There you go. Another Mario pick. Cortina d'Ampezzo.
Broke my arm there.
There you go.
Love that place. My shoulder will never be the same since.
295,000 tags.
Some of those by me.
There you go. What is this one? Oh, Lech, Austria, which races are delayed there, so there'll be less tagging going on.
Yeah, there's be Lech tagging.
Lech tagging. A total Lech of tagging there.
Total Lech of tagging.
It has been awarded the best ski resort worldwide for 2020.
Nice. 249,000
tags. And number 10, Gstaad, Switzerland.
It tells the time someone's dancing. Paris, Roman Stad.
If you don't know that reference, you need to look back at best 80s movies ever.
With Eddie Murphy in it. And
with Eddie
Dan
Murphy.
Aykroyd.
Yes. If you don't know it now, we can't help you.
Can't help you.
We can only do so much. Can lead a horse to water, right? Luxury, 241,000. Those are your... Oh, there's still more. I thought it was top 10. It's top 14 for
top
some...
14. I don't know how they make a top 14, but it's even number at least.
Couldn't do 10, couldn't do 15. Nah, we're going to do 12 or 14, whatever.
We'll do whatever we want. How about that?
Yeah. St. Anton, number 12. What happened to 11? Oh, my God.
11's there.
Things are spiraling off the rails quickly here. You go... Again, I thought 10. Once you get past 10, it threw me off.
You're done at 10.
Interesting one, too, at 11. Jasna, Slovakia.
Nice.
Largest ski resort in Central Europe and has brilliant off-piste ski routes. And plenty of wellness spas as well. 104,000 tags. Number 12, St. Anton. And as many of us know, it is the resort where Chalet Girl is based.
Ah.
I have no idea what Chalet Girl is.
I'm looking it up now.
Should we? Apparently it's a movie.
2011 IMDb Chalet Girl, the movie.
Former
skateboard champion Kim wants to make some more money after her mother's tragic death. She joins the elite posh servicing company, which sends her off to Austria. Yeah, this is like a B or a C movie at best.
It's a British movie.
Yeah, you could Chalet Girl all you want. It's not Apocalypse Now.
It's definitely not Apocalypse Now. It's not even that terrible downhill movie that came out this year with Will Ferrell.
So somebody tagged a scene for Apocalypse Now on one of the hashtag, skiing hashtags for Twitter, for Instagram. And Melanie was looking at it yesterday, and I was like, I know the movie that's from. That's from Apocalypse Now.
Such a great goddamn movie. And the soundtrack is awesome.
That was the first one. Not the second or the third. I recognize it was from the first one.
Dude, it was like Apocalypse Now is like Godfather 1 and 2. And then Apocalypse Now 2 and 3 are like Godfather 3 and Godfather 3. Like it's just
not the same.
So yeah, St. Anton. Number 3, Solden, Austria, 56,000 tags. And then number 4, Winterberg, Germany, skiing after dark. Somehow we went from like 100,000. There's only 2,000 tags. In Winterberg, it has floodlights on 14 of its pistes. Look at that.
I want to see the tag that Mountain Creek got. I bet you it's got more than 2,000 tags. I'm
very surprised that Ischgl was not on there. Now, is that because they got shut down and sued by multiple?
Nobody's even talking about it. Like it doesn't even exist. It's just quiet.
You know what? It's almost like Chernobyl. Like they just kind of like cemented. Did they pour like a sarcophagus on top of Ischgl and just shut the whole thing down?
I don't know if it's like Chernobyl. You're going to be able to get in and out because it's really not closed.
Oof.
They didn't do a great job of it.
No.
But
so there you go. If you want to get your Instagram on in Europe, those are your top 14.
Get your Grammy Grandma on.
Get your Grammy Grandma on.
All right. And rounding up the ski news, we have a Colorado ski resort unveils bumper cars on ice for the upcoming season. This sounds freaking genius. So a number of and it's not just one, they're saying a number of the resorts are introducing new activities for this year. One of them is a little bit unique. Winter Park Resort in Grand County, slated to open mid-December, are ice bumper cars. So it's billed as an activity the entire family can enjoy. And the experience adds an extra dash of excitement to the Fair Classic by introducing a sliding factor that's sure to lead to moments of laughter and glee. So, and probably a few neck injuries, but all around fun.
It's sort of like crashed ice in a car.
Yeah, it all sounds good. So when we were in, I think it was Val Thorens, they have where you can get a race car and go on the ice. They have a frozen lake and ride that car there. And it looks pretty awesome. It's just really expensive. And you got to take a lot of time out of skiing. So I kind of didn't do it. But I think what's his face? Our buddy
Harry.
No, it wasn't Harry.
Harry.
The Japan trip.
Harry. Kevin.
I think Kevin did it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So pretty cool. But they're saying a 15-minute ride around the ice bumper car rink will run participants $12, which is nice. And something else to do while you're at your ski area. If you can't be on the mountain, you can be on the bumper cars.
That's pretty cool. This season's going to get very weird, so it's nice having other options depending on how things end up going.
It's going to be creative. Why not have other winter events? If you don't want to have a day out on the mountain or you can't get on the mountain because they're packed up, might as well be able to do something else.
Yeah. That's the thing. You got to stay open-minded. These resorts are doing everything they can to make it as normal as possible, but having these other options are going to be nice. And we'll see where we end up landing with all this, which leads us into our main topic. speaking of landing places, unique and different, we have a great interview coming up now with Tom from Ober-Gatlinburg. We've talked about Ober-Gatlinburg in the past. We'll bring it up. Elephant in the room, urban ski weekend. We've been talking about it for years. We always want to go. We never get to go. That's where it takes place. Now, another big thing with Ober-Gatlinburg, they are on the Indy Pass. And we've been trying to get the word out on the Indy Pass the last couple months. We talked to Doug Fish a couple weeks ago. We want people to make sure that they get to these smaller independent ski resorts, these feeder resorts, so that people can fall in love with skiing like we did. And this is the best way to do it. And, down in it's the Smoky Mountains, right?
Yeah. The Gatlinburg. Yep.
Not a ton of options down there. But if you got folks from Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, I guess even Kentucky, all those areas, where are they going to go if they want to do day trip, long weekend? Ober-Gatlinburg, that's the spot. So
I'm thinking this might be the furthest south location you can ski in the U.S.
That's absolutely not true.
Let's see, Charlotte.
Isn't North Carolina further south?
They're almost. Well, you have Boone and everything. Yeah, I guess it's a little further south, but that's also, I think, in the Smoke Mountains. I don't think it's the Appalachians. Well, maybe it is the Appalachians. Yeah, it might be I don't know.
It's close. Dude, I'm so stupid. I didn't realize how far south Tennessee was. I always thought Tennessee was like on top of North Carolina. I'm a dope.
Right next to it.
What about that? Georgia has some mountain range, don't they? I mean, they all have the Appalachians in there, right? Because that's where it starts in Georgia.
Yeah, the Appalachians run all that way. And then there's the Smoke Mountains. And then, but let's see, that's just, it's not, Ober-Gatlinburg's not far from Charlotte, but let's see, Boone, Asheville. So Ober-Gatlinburg is just to the left of Asheville. So I actually think in North Carolina, Boone, that's a little further, very slightly further south, I think, but they're very close. Nope, Boone is north. Never mind.
Oh, look at that.
And Asheville's very close, so Knoxville's very close.
Yeah.
So you can fly into Knoxville or Asheville, which are not big airports, but it looks like a little hidden gem. Looks like they got a lot of cool stuff there. And we're going to talk to Tom.
Yeah. So we hope you enjoy the conversation with Tom from Ober-Gatlinburg. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you want more information, go to our website, skibumpodcast.com. Did we get anything for Under the Ropes?
No, you want to just wrap it up? But hope you enjoyed the thing, and that's it.
Yeah, you know what? This week, after all our great last couple episodes, Under the Ropes stories, we're taking the week off. There's no Under the Ropes stories. The election's under the ropes.
That's the craziness.
Just be happy that legalized marijuana happened in a couple states. That's all we got this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. Go to the website for more information, skibumpodcast.com. The shop updated, skibumpodcast.com/shop. Follow us on all of our socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Untapped at Ski Bum Podcast. Go to your favorite podcasting apps and subscribe and rate us. Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, Google, wherever finer podcasts can be found. And if you want to hit us up, information, questions, sticker requests, skibumpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you all for listening. We really do appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Stay high, stay fluting.
See ya.